To me, what I've watched the most in those tender moments of dying is um, reminding parents that if they'd like to be as close as possible to their child, to lift up, to embrace, to touch, to do whatever that reconnecting is, because I think sometimes that piece is forgotten or the healthcare team doesn't want to interrupt or whatever. But um, I'm thinking a lot of what happens in those moments to me, I think about it as a drawing in and a reconnecting and a grounding of that relationship. What is going to fully honor that relationship if it's getting close for people that would be important to. I've also had parents say, I don't think I can bear. If you think it's close, I'm going to need to step out, but can you stay? So we work out something like that too. Words of affirmation, words of love, music, whatever is connecting. I remember one young girl, the song Over the Rainbow was really important to her, and she wanted that song to be played as close as possible around her death. And it was and she wanted a particular music therapist to be there and to play it on her harp. And I remember it was actually her sibling who kind of shouted out the song, and we had everything there ready to go. And her transition, her last breaths happened to the harp of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But it took all of us together. And that was clearly a family that was ready or open for those kind of conversations, and then we could mark the moment. And I'm sure anyone who's been in this work for a long time could tell lots of stories about what that's about. But I guess to summarize, I think it's having the courage to speak up in those moments as a family member, speak into those moments as you see them as a healthcare professional, and ask, either you said this was important before, or it looks as if you're trying to get close, or I'm remembering that this may be important to you, and not being afraid to speak that, because really those moments are the only time that you have with that. And then in terms of being with the child's body after death, I think there's conversations that need to happen with the teams, and probably policies and things that are in place too in a setting. And we were able to work that out at my own site of really parents can have as long as they need. There's no set time if a child is dying in a hospital, but really being able to make that safe space be what it needs to be. And instead of asking pointed questions like, do you want to do this now? I also learned that another approach that's helpful is saying to family, how do you see the next hour going for you and your family with your child here? Or how do you see what will be this afternoon will look like? And often questions like that in a general frame will help families like, oh yes, this is, I'm in my grief, this is heartbreaking, I can't believe this is really happening. But yeah, I'm remembering I really wanted to be sure we did this, and this. We made this memory, we got this memento, we said these words as a family, whatever that might be. So again, the earlier conversations you could have about what's going to be most important, the best to integrate that. I will say I've had families think they want to do certain things, and when the moments came, they said, I really can't, or I need to step out of the room, or it doesn't feel right now. And so to be able to speak those affirming words, I can see that you're making that decision with as much love as when you thought about this might be important to you previously. And we're honoring that, and please do what you need to do, and we're still here, and we'll think through what's next together. It's being willing to trust yourself. Again, I'd like to be able to give that message. You really are going to know in the moments what's most important for you to